You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. With an ass back, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab round man. When it come back, I'ma give back, my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed, the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gonna make you.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go! The Redskins take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Buddy up! 51 to Mike! Lost the run!
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 22-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. Here's Hines. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Now Haskins, third and long. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Kill.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got the first down here inside the 30. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here we go. Back. 120. Bandit. Check your hot read. Check. Check 43.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Here we go. 280.
Now on second and 13. Wentz. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Trey 15, Trey 15.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on third down.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want none.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation, because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Wentz now on third and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on fourth and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it.
74.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on fourth down. This is a 26-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground, because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense, because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
The Redskins take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up third down.
2 yards, and it's third down.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. From the gun, Haskins on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
Check 26, check 26. Sunday.
On first down, Wentz. Oh, look at the juke. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
6 guard. Check 6 guard. Hey, stand.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Here. That's me.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary.
Mike 51. I got
Again, it's Wentz. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Randy Gregory just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you're talking about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the block.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Any team that successfully runs a toss play cannot do it with an offensive line that can't move. You've got to have mobile players, especially those tackles, who can move laterally and seal the edge in order for the back to get upfield.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. An incomplete, an excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But 2nd down instead.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
5-9, 5-9.
Now Wentz. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The 39-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 39, Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Looking to throw, Haskins. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Space to maneuver at the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wentz on the move to his left. And it's caught off the deflection. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
You better bring it. Watch the safety creep. Hey, bunch.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
82. Switch up. 56. Mike. Hey, zoom. 56.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
57. Down the man inside, down the man.
On play action, it's Wentz. And he's going to go down again. The DN Jonathan Allen making sure his presence is felt.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this 2nd half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done.
And this will be caught at the 30. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
Wahoo! Hey, turn it up. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Check the backer. Great.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go. We got this.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 15-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Wentz now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
Protein spill.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Hines. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On 2nd and 9, Haskins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off near his own 48. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
180. 51's the mic. It's a party now. It's a party.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll go with the ground attack here. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check, 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 check.
Now a play fake. Wentz to the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10, flush to his right. Slings this deep from McLaurin, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Throwing on 3rd and long. Haskins, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff, quarter number 4. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Time to go, night. Slam.
They're going on 4th down. Haskins. And that is incomplete. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Here. 56.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. Haskins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Haskins to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a
and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott good with a PAT. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Come on, QB, come on.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins. He's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Now Haskins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Come on, D.
They'll try and throw forward with Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? All right. You want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player? No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
I got you, son. I got you, son. He's checking. Crash. Let's go.
Off play action. Franks. That's going to be caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
But
one of our guys.
she's singing too.
Oh, she's at least
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
51. Hey, keep it up.
2nd and 5 now. Haskins looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. The 30, the 20, 10, and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 26.
Next to score, Eagles 33, Redskins 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now they try the right side here. He finds an opening past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, +3.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
66. Fully ready, go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback, because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Mike 51. Drop deep. 51.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Haskins to throw it. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 38.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Philadelphia, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10.
I just ran a checkup on myself.